Good morning or good afternoon, depending on whenever you are watching this. This is Shelby Bronner in the State 4-H office, and I am the grant coordinator for our Tennessee 4-H program. I want to briefly walk you through some of the things you should know about the Health Rocks program before you begin teaching it. So first off, I want to say welcome. Thank you for agreeing to help deliver this program to youth in your community. I know that it will be a successful year, and I hope that you enjoy your time doing this. So here are some of the things that I'm going to cover. I'm going to give you a quick overview of what this program is and what it is going to look like in the state of Tennessee this year, how implementation is done with this grant, some reporting, communication, evaluation, and some best practices. So grant overview. So what is 4-H Health Rocks? This program is an interactive, hands-on approach to help youth reduce their consumption of tobacco, alcohol, and drugs. It does focus on ages 9 to 15 with 2 curriculums, beginner and intermediate. It's taught in 30-minute to 1-hour sessions. It just depends on what activity you are delivering, and then also as you get into discussion how long that takes. So this is what it is going to look like across our state for this grant period. We will reach 14,000 youth statewide in 14 counties in all 3 4-H camps. You can see the map below. All of the darker pink colors are the counties where this program is delivered, and then the lighter pink colors are where the 4-H camps are located, where this program will be delivered. So this does include working with 400 to 600 team leaders and mentors that help deliver the program. So you may have seen these statistics before. I believe I included some of them in the Healthy Living Ambassador training, but I definitely want to bring these back up and show the importance of why we need to teach Health Rocks. So 13.2% of youth have taken prescription pain meds without a doctor's prescription, and that means prescribing it just for that person specifically. So, for example, if you take your parents' or siblings' prescriptions, that's what this is talking about here, taking something that was not prescribed directly to you. 31.6% of youth have smoked cigarettes at least once. 33.8% of youth have smoked marijuana at least once. 40.3% of youth have used electronic vapor products, so e-cigs and those types of things. 57.6% of youth have tried alcohol at least once. And then of that, 25.8% of youth drink alcohol on a regular basis. So with that being said, annually there's over $2 billion spent on medical costs related to substance abuse in Tennessee. So let's dive in and talk a little bit about implementation of how you go about delivering this program. So just so you know, the grant period for this grant began September 1st, 2018, and it ends August 31st of 2019. I know that you are receiving this on November the 1st. It's totally fine. You'll still be able to reach your youth by August 31st. I have full faith. If you have questions at any time, just reach out to me. The way a grant works is you're given a specific set of funds with guidelines and instructions that you have to complete during a set time period. So we do have to make sure that we reach the youth we said we were going to reach by August 31st of 2019. So I know there are a few of you who applied. You all have different youth reach numbers, some from 25 all the way to 200. So we'll talk about in best practices how to make sure we set our goals so we can achieve them. But with that being said, the instruction of this Health Rocks program should be face-to-face, so it can't be what I'm doing now, talking through a PowerPoint, an online kind of thing. It does have to be face-to-face. You have to use the official Health Rocks curriculum, which I have had mailed to you along with all of the activities and the supplies that you need. So there shouldn't be an issue with deriving from the Health Rocks curriculum. And then you should complete required surveys from youth participants. And we'll talk about what these surveys are and what the expectations are of these in just a few moments. So a few more things to help you implement this program. You must use the Health Rocks logo. So if you go to your extension office and print out flyers, anything like that, or put things on Facebook and those types of things, you do need to make sure that you use the Health Rocks logo. You also need to make sure the program is referred to as 4-H Health Rocks. We want to make sure that we are consistent when we talk about the program. This helps the reliability across the state as others see the program and they can easily identify it. You must serve every youth with 10 hours of high quality, direct instructional programming. So you have been given 10 activities to teach. Some of you may teach it in technically less than 10 hours. Some of you, it may take you more than 10 hours. That is perfectly fine. As long as you teach the program and those 10 lessons that were sent to you, you will be perfectly fine. High quality and direct. So this is once again referring back face to face. We're not doing this online or through email or social media. And all of the activities that were sent to you have hands-on things that the youth can do and they are engaging. So I know that already that it is high quality. So you must submit quarterly and final reports on or before the due date. So I will be sure to send you an email along with your agent copied on the email of the few things that I have to report back to National Council. National 4-H Council is who gives us this money so that we can provide this opportunity to youth in Tennessee, and in doing so we are expected to submit a report that's during the grant process and at the end. So they just want to make sure that we are doing what we said we were going to do in our grant application, and it's also to justify the funds. And then lastly, please include an impact story and photo with those reports. So an impact story, it can be 3 to 5 sentences, a short paragraph with a photo that helps describe that paragraph or depicts it, really just to show how the program has impacted a youth that has participated. So experiential learning, this is what we use in 4-H. This is what we do. This is how we teach. So if you've never seen this before, it's called the experiential learning model. There are 5 steps and then it just kind of continues. So the first step is to experience. So for example, we're going to experience the Health Rocks program. It's going to be that activity. We're going to be hands-on, that kind of thing. Then you're going to share. 3 is to process. 4 is to generalize. And 5 is to then apply what you have learned. And then it's just a continuous process. So a few things of where Health Rocks has been in the media. There's a news release that was aired in 2012 that focused on Marion County delivering this program. You can go to this YouTube link here if you're interested in watching it. And then last year, as some of you may know, there's been the opioid epidemic, and the UT system did a video of how the UT system is addressing the opioid epidemic, and it features Gibson County delivering the Health Rocks program. So this was in 2017, so it is fairly recent. If you want a nice little resource to use that has different types of drugs and all of the things you could ever want to know about it, as far as whether it's pill or liquid, how it's misused, street names for it, side effects, all of those kinds of things. This website is called justthinktwice.gov. It has even true stories, consequences, media. I think this is a really neat resource if you want to learn more and help supplement those activities that you may lead. This is the DEA guide, drugs of abuse. This is like 100-page or so document online, but there are different drugs outlined in there, kind of like the website before, just if you want to know more information about some common drugs that are abused. And I wanted to share a couple of activities that have been done with the Health Rocks program in various counties. So this was in Tipton County in the 2017 grant period. This was the beginner curriculum activity 2B. I'm pretty sure it's called Don't Get Dragged Down. You all were mailed the items that you need to do this activity, so I look forward to seeing photos from when you all do it. But this activity focuses on choosing healthy options and making a positive decision and predicting consequences of each option. So it works through problem solving and decision making. And then in Robertson County, there was a local law enforcement officer that came in and taught a lesson about fentanyl, which is a drug that is abused, using sweet and low packets as an example. So feel free to talk with your extension agent and see maybe how you could have a local law enforcement officer come and, do a special program related to drugs that may be commonly abused or seen in the school system. And then at the 4-H Center, at the Ridley 4-H Center specifically, they use a golf cart and dazed and confused goggles just to see the difference between being under the influence with driving, and then they do it without the goggles as well to see what it's like, not being under the influence. So there's just a couple of examples of how this program has been done. So I want to talk about reporting. I know this may sound a little scary, but don't worry at all. I promise it will be fine. So there's quarterly reports. Like I said, I will send this email to you at least 2 weeks before it's due, and I'll make sure your agent is copied on this email. It is going to ask you things like some accomplishments or impacts that you've made, any challenges that you've faced, and then really just the overall progress that you've made. Anybody you've partnered with, so right here might be whenever you've asked your local law enforcement officer to come in and help with the program, would be this is where you would write that. And then you're going to include the number of youth who have received less than 10 hours of programming, which is perfectly fine. This means that you are in progress. You have until August 31st of 2019 to finish the program. So let's say, for example, your total reach goal is 25 youth, and you're going to 2 different groups. We're going to say one group has 10 youth in it and the other has 15. Let's say that you're going to teach 10 youth this fall, and then the other 15 you're going to teach next spring and summer maybe. So right now you are in the middle of delivering the program to those 10 youth, and you are, let's say, halfway through the activities, meaning you've done 5. So those youth have received less than 10 hours of programming. Now, maybe you're saving those other 15 youth that's in a different program for the spring and summer. You're still going to put those number of youth here as well. So it will be a total of 25. And then on number of youth who have received 10 hours or more of programming, this is going to be if you have finished the program with however many youth. So let's say it's a report that's in March. So at that time, you have already served the 10 youth from this fall, and they've received 10 hours, they're done with the program. But then the other 15 youth, you are teaching them because it's the spring and you're going to finish in the summer. So the way you would break this out is you would put 15 youth who have received less than 10 hours, and then 10 youth have received 10 hours or more of programming. If this makes no sense to you at all, just feel free to reach out and I'll be happy to help you work through it. And so I do want to say this is not a report that I make up or that we require just for fun or to have you do something else. This is something that comes from National 4-H Council, and like I said, it's used to send back to the funders who give us the money to show the impact, that it's needed so that it continues each year. So just a few important dates. The reports here are the quarterly report due dates. December the 18th, March 27th, June 26th, and then September 25th. So if you keep a paper calendar or a calendar on your phone or one in your email, I suggest that you go ahead and write these dates down so you can start planning ahead for success. And then the date that the evaluations will be due is September 15th of 2019. So I just want to briefly touch on communication. Please know that if you have questions at any time regarding this grant or Healthy Living Ambassador things, that you can email or call me at any time necessary. If I'm traveling, I'll return your email as quickly as I can get to mine. My office phone, if you leave me a voicemail, it sends the voicemail to my email. And so if I'm traveling, I am able to return your call. So just do not hesitate to reach out. I want to help you be successful, okay? And then also, I want to say, if you had planned on serving 25 youth, but you think, let's say it's January, and you don't think the other program that you were going to go to is going to be successful for serving 10 more youth, let me know before we get to the end of next August. Let's think about a plan of how you could do this. And this includes talking to your agent because they know the county better. But if you think that there's no way possible, I definitely need to know. Evaluation. So when we say evaluations, this also just means a survey. I'm going to kind of use those words interchangeably. So evaluations are just going to be a survey at the end of the program. It's for participants to basically measure the knowledge, skills, assets, intent, and the quality of the program. So things that they have learned. So the survey is 3 pages. I will have the copies printed and mailed to your county extension office, so be sure to go by and pick those up there. It really doesn't take the youth too long to fill these out, maybe 10 minutes. If they need help reading it, you can help them read it. The surveys are due to me September 15th of 2019. And I will say, let's say that you finish your program in February of 2019 and you're done. You've reached all of the youth you are planning to reach. They finish the surveys. Instead of just leaving those surveys at your house or the extension office until September, just go ahead and send those in to me. This will get them out of your way, create less clutter for you, and you will not have to worry about losing them or missing the deadline. So do not think that just because you finish the program early, you have to wait until September to mail those back to me. So a few best practices to help you be successful. So number 1 is goals. So think about your goal and what you want to accomplish. And then you need to write out steps to achieve that goal. And that can really be like a checklist for you to make sure you're doing that. So if you're going to say, let's, for example, go back with 25 youth again. If you're planning to serve 25 youth, you've already probably identified the group that you're going to go deliver the program to. Maybe print out a calendar, or if you don't want to print out paper, that's fine too. But think about all of the days that you are planning to go deliver this program. It's probably going to be at least 10 times because there's 10 different activities that take 30 minutes to an hour. So go ahead and plan those days out, what that's going to look like. The second thing is photos. Be sure to take lots of photos of the activities that are going on so you can submit them for reports, and then you can share them with your extension agent to put on social media. So this is something that you want to check with your extension agent for, but you need to make sure that they do have a photo release, and that is something that your extension agent probably has on file, and if not, you'll just need to work with them. Number 3 is hands-on. For the most part, I think we may all know that we learn better when we get to use our hands and we get to actually do the activity and participate rather than just sitting and having someone talk to you like I'm doing now. You really get the youth engaged, they get excited about it, and they're more likely to remember it. All of the activities that I have had mailed to you are hands-on. And the fourth one is organization. So this kind of goes back to goals, but I'd like to separate it out. Have your game plan ready to go from the beginning of how you are going to accomplish the grant requirements. So like I said, you want to reach 25 youth with 10 hours of programming. Where are you going to deliver this program to? Have you decided on one classroom, some different 4-H groups, whatever the case may be? Go ahead and set up those dates with the person you need to contact of when you're going to deliver the program. Go through the boxes that have been sent to you of all of the different lessons and the materials needed. Make sure everything is separated out for exactly what you need so you can just grab and go. If anything needs to be cut out or assembled, go ahead and do that. The dates for the reports, go ahead and put those on your calendar. And this says budget sheets, but you all do not have to worry about that. So a couple of social media things that have been shared in the past, not specifically related to Health Rocks, but just examples. I know as teens you all are better on social media than older individuals are, so feel free to write something up that's short and sweet with a photo that you can send to your extension agent to post on your county Facebooks, Instagrams, and whatever other social media accounts you may have. So we kind of call this a marketing strategy, is to brag. So don't be afraid to brag about the great things you have going on through the program. Get with your extension agent and figure out how you can have things posted on social media. If you write something up and with a picture after every lesson that you teach, and then they can post it, that's perfect. Go ahead and figure out a plan of how you want to do that. So we always say the participants do the selling of this program. So you may open opportunities for other places, community centers, groups, to want you come and deliver this program. And if you use the participants who are involved now that are talking about all that they've learned and the great things that they're doing, this really shows the impact. Newsletters. So you could reach out to schools and other community facilities and post newsletters for future events, if your extension agent is on board with this, of course. And then fairs, if your extension agent is okay with it and there is something in your county where you can set up a booth to talk about the program and what you're doing or have a sample activity, I think this is a great idea. So I went through several things very quickly. If you have any questions about it at all, here is my contact information. That is my direct line. If I do not answer, please leave me a voicemail. I don't know to call you back otherwise. And then here is my email as well. Your box of items should make it to you today, tomorrow, Friday the November the 2nd, or maybe even Saturday. Like I mentioned before in the organization piece, start going through your stuff and get organized. Make you a plan, and that is how you're going to be successful. Have a great rest of the day.